Welcome back to the channel, guys. So today we're talking about 72 Seasons, the latest track released by Metallica from the forthcoming record titled the very same, due out in April of this year. So we're just around the corner from the world premiere. I've covered the first couple of tracks that have come before this, Lux Eterna, which was an easygoing thrash song, kind of like Hit the Lights. It was okay, wasn't bad, wasn't stand out great, but it was okay. Screaming Suicide, which I wasn't all that pleased with myself. I thought, they've definitely done better than that. Great vocal performance from James, but I thought the music didn't really live up to his lyrics and the vocal performance. The song that came after that, If Darkness Had a Sun, I thought was a bit of an improvement. It was a bit more coherent, but at the same time it wasn't really a thriller, so to speak. There was some kind of run-of-the-mill things happening in that track that didn't really just sort of grab me by the balls, but it also had some good moments where the band were kind of shining a little bit. So let's take a listen then. So right away, we've got actually what I think is a really killer intro. Starts off with a bit of suspense and nice, fresh kind of take, because it's the bass kicking the song off. Rob's sometimes, if you ask me, in my opinion, he's a little bit underutilized in some cases. And I know this is a really simple thing, right? It's kind of just pedaling one note here, but it doesn't matter. It just sets things off a little differently, and I think it's really cool. It's a really promising start. I really like the kind of chord voicings that they're using here as well to kind of open this track up. Rhythmically, it's pretty standard. The bam, 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 right? But what's making it is those chord voicings and the bass tone, which is really gnarly. So let's crack on to the next part. So this video so far on the opening, it's kind of like a cross between, I don't know if you ever saw the movie Sunshine, sci-fi movie made by Danny Boyle, guy who made I think it was 28 Days Later or 28 Weeks Later, one of the two. I think it was 28 Days Later, the first one. It's kind of a cross between that and like a James Bond film. It's quite strange, but it is nice to see. It's still got those kind of lens flares and all of that kind of stuff that we've seen in the previous videos, but it's very different tonally so far. Also kind of like the shots of the guitars and stuff like that at the beginning, and that's pretty cool. So let's continue. The verse riff is a decent riff. It's on first listen, it sort of feels like it's missing a little. I think again, it kind of, we went from the double bass kind of part, the kind of interlude into the verse, which is really upbeat, and then it kind of settles into this backbeat section, or this backbeat structure for the verse. And I guess so that they can kind of build it back up again. But we go from that then into this kind of almost like sledgehammer breakdowny type riff, and that's okay. It kind of reminds me of something off of Hardwired. I can't remember the song right now, but the riff is awfully similar. It's okay, it's not bad. Again, I think in this case James's vocal performance is really carrying the thing, and in a verse that's kind of okay, I suppose, because, well, that's what the vocals are there to do, really. It's the point where you listen to the lyrics, and arguably the instrumentation can take a bit of a backseat. Yeah. So let's continue. This is now going into the chorus. I think it's actually a really kick-ass chorus. It's really nice to hear. James is kind of really projecting. It's really projecting. It is a bit of that epic drama that I talked about. That I felt was been kind of missing so far from what we'd heard off this record. And it's quite a simple riff behind it. Down, down, down. But James is really opening up his voice. Like I said, he's really, really throwing it out. And the way the kind of ambience that they've used production-wise, it's nice. It just kind of opens up, and it's nice to have sometimes just have these chords just ringing out. Yeah. Right. Let's continue. Then we got Kirk playing the same line, but with a kind of wah octave up. Simple, but I guess it works. Maybe wanted to hear something a little bit jazzed up. So into the second verse. Going back to this kind of breakdowny pre-chorus riff, this kind of sledgehammer thing, it was really expected. Now and again I wish they'd throw us a bit of a curveball. Maybe go straight back to an up-tempo part as opposed to slowing things down all the time to go back up. Sometimes it's not necessary. Sometimes you can upset the apple cart a bit. But anyway, they've chosen to kind of go with that standard verse, pre-chorus, chorus structure. It's very traditional. Tried and tested is one argument for it. Level repetitive is another argument against it. So let's continue. nice key change here, and the change of colors and imagery to go along with that is pretty cool. Something like monolithic about how they use those screens there. That kind of reminds me of, like, I don't know, like 2001 Space Odyssey or something weird. I really like those vocal harmonies in the section that just comes before the guitar solo. It's quite a short section, but yeah, there's something like dark and atmospheric and creepy about what James has done here vocally. I really like that. Yeah, I'm really digging that part. Let's listen to the solo then. Nice key change. A key change. Gnarly. Nice melody. Oh, the guitar harmonies. Been waiting for these. Okay, that's easily the best thing I've heard out of everything on 72 Seasons so far, as in the record. That entire section, that precursor to the solo with the vocal harmonies, the solo itself, and then the dual guitar harmony part coming out of that, that's more like it. That reminds me of the Metallica I know and love. And when I'm saying this, I don't just mean 80s Metallica or 80s to early 90s. What I mean is smart, slick, well produced, well thought out, well crafted, well rehearsed. Kirk's solo sounds written, it sounds arranged, frankly it sounds like he made an effort. Now maybe that's some good editing there, based on his latest interview, if you've seen that. I think it was with Guitar Player magazine or something like that, where he talks about them just slapping the solos together like in the editing room, and then I guess he learns them or something like that, talking about how he likes to improv because he's a lazy git these days. He says he's bored, of playing the same solos all the time, but people get paid good money to go see him. Like, suck it up, Kirk. Anyway, but this time this sounds crafted, and I really appreciate that. Don't get me wrong, it's not like something I haven't heard before, but it's cohesive, it's put together well, it fits the music, it serves the song. Has a marked improvement from the last couple of songs, in my opinion. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. So, here coming out of the solo, going back into the verse, this time I don't really mind it so much because I've just had some ear candy. On some of their newer songs, unless you get taken on a journey, there's no point dropping you back off at the station, to like reorientate you. That's what it's like when you come back to the verse like this. You need to have gone somewhere. And in some of their other songs, they don't really take you far enough or far away enough from where you started. So when you get dropped back in it, kind of like it just gets repetitive because you just it's like you've been wandering around in the same station the whole time. But this time it's like I've gone off on a journey. I've been to different continents. It's had different weather. It's had highs, lows. It's been cold. It's been hot. It's been searing and boiling and now when I get dropped off, I'm like, oh, it's good to be home. Do you know what I mean? Don't know if I'm making sense, but that's how I feel. Right, let's listen to the end of the song.
Staring into black light, permanently midnight. Wrath of man, reaching through, split in two. Wrath of man, crashing through, point of view. Wrath of man, violence, inheritance. Wrath of man, drive upon, feeding on 72 seasons gone. Feeding on the wrath of man.
I like that drop back in to this riff, a kind of main refrain riff. It's a little extra bit there just to trick me up. I like that. That's nice. That's good arrangement. And that's the end of the song. Cool. Well, I gotta say, I thought that was really good. Yeah, easily the best song I think I've heard so far off this record. And if there's a couple of more tracks that are up to that level on the record, then I think that bodes well. I'll be keen to hear them. Let me know what you think in the comments. What do you think? Is this the best of the lot so far? Does this raise your hopes and expectations? What do you think so far of all the tracks that you've heard? Yeah, love to know your thoughts in the comments. Look, if you enjoyed this video and you've stuck around this long until the end, please do the like, share, subscribe, all that kind of usual thing. It helps the channel greatly. I'm trying to grow the channel, as you can see, from scratch. Also know that I've put out some of my own music just recently. I'll link the playlist just here in the top, just at the end of this video. Do go and check it out. It's got a little bit of everything in it, a bit of black metal influence, a bit of melodic death metal, but really my core and my foundation of my sound is born in thrash. I mean, these guys, Megadeth, Slayer, that's, you know, my kind of foundational influences, Pantera, those guys. So, you know, if you want to try something, do go and check it out. Be sure to plug in headphones or listen on decent speakers though, because your phone isn't going to do it justice. You know, I recorded the whole thing during lockdown at home, so yeah. But I did my very best with it, and it was a labor of love. So check it out if you're keen, and let me know what you think of it. Leave a comment, that kind of thing. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, guys. Take care.